a bill that would have required sheriffs to cooperate with immigration officials. You'd think they would be incumbent on the position. Joining us right now exclusively in his first TV interview since assuming the post, Acting Secretary of Homeland Security Chad Wolf. Mr. Secretary, congratulations. Why is this your first area to attack?
Thank you, Brian, for having me this morning. I think sanctuary city policies endanger communities. They make the men and women of ICE, their job more difficult. And so they're not protecting communities, they're endangering the community. So I thought it was important in my first week to call that out and to stand with the men and women of ICE to do so.
And some of the things you pointed out yesterday, there have been 480 ICE detainers refused by North Carolina law enforcement of late and over the fiscal year of 2019. So that's a problem. So you want to present this, hear the other side, but most of all, you want to stop this practice, primarily because it's a magnet.
Absolutely. We heard from sheriffs, we heard from elected officials, and most importantly, we heard from angel families yesterday on the devastating effects that sanctuary policies have. So as part of my job is to make sure that the American people hear about that the North Carolinians hear about that, on what certain officials and jurisdictions in North Carolina are doing when they talk about sanctuary policies. And these are magnets and these are havens for criminals, and they make those communities less safe and not more safe. And it makes the officers of ICE, makes their job more difficult and puts them in danger. So we need to call it out and describe what it really is, and that is, it is causing these communities to be less secure and more dangerous.
Right. The other area, you have a huge portfolio, but one of which is the border wall. And a lot of controversy with it. We know that the president was able to repurpose defense spending money and start building it. Are you building new wall or replacing old wall?
We're building new wall, Brian. Under President Trump's leadership, we've built 83 miles. We've got another 153 under construction, and we're on track to build between 450 and 500 miles by the end of 2020. And I hear this fallacy that we're replacing wall, we're not building new wall. I would say if you're going to tear down a shack and you're going to build a 5-6 bedroom house, you don't call that a replacement shack. You call that a new house. And so when we're building and we're tearing down 7 to 8 foot shanty landing mat wall with an 18 to 30 foot wall, that's new wall. It gives the Border Patrol, the agents at CBP, new capabilities that they've never had before. And so that is new wall, new construction, and we're getting on with it.
Mr. Secretary, there's talk about putting that camera, that U-log type camera, on the wall to watch the construction being done so you could tune in at any moment. Are you for that? Do you see that getting done?
I'm for I'm letting the public, I'm for having the public and anyone look at our wall construction. I think when you talk about wall construction, there's two phases. There's the land acquisition, which we're doing in Texas and others, and then there's the actual construction of the wall. Anyone that wants to take a look at that wall construction is happy to do so. There are certain things we have to keep in mind and considerations. There's certain operational aspects of having cameras along the border, making sure that we don't give the bad guys a view into how our agents operate along the border and the type of construction that's going on. So we've got to make sure that we balance letting the public see what's going on with the operational considerations that our agents need on the border.
Right. So it's not just a matter of illegals coming here. You also worry about gangs, and with gangs come the illegal drugs to finance their illegal activity. Where are you at with confronting this? What has been done in the past where you think you can nuance with a different approach?
So I think at the department, we're going after the financing of these transnational criminal organizations. So we look at the enforcement posture that we have with our government of Mexico, our partnership there. It's increased under President Trump's leadership. We're also signing a number of agreements with our Central American partners, both asylum agreements, border security agreements, biometric agreements that, again, that are stopping these dangerous cartels at their source. And then we have a number of agreements and policies in place should they actually get to our southern border that, again, is stopping this flow. The flow is what fuels these TCOs. So if you can cut off their financing, you can cut off their deadly, the results of what they do.
Real quick, is it true that you're going to start sending those welled up in Mexico back to Honduras and Central America?
Absolutely. Again, we have agreements in place with Honduras, El Salvador, and Guatemala on asylum seekers. We started our first